Ralph actually did a project to us there, and but the investor, because of the dollar, they decided not to do it anymore.
Oh yeah? Oh, you were telling me that, yeah.
Yeah, and we're trying to sell it. Next week we have someone going there.
Just selling the property?
Selling the property,
got it.
and they like the project very much.
Was that a function, I don't know if it's the best time to ask, but was that a function of, because you know there's a lot of building now, were you guys seeing
No,
it just
the
being
problem is that
saturated?
when we came here, the dollar was 2.4. And when we decided not to do it anymore, the dollar was already 4, then it went back a little bit, and now it's 4.
Okay. So
17.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
so that's the problem.
Air rights is tricky because people use it as a catch-all. So you hear people say air rights, and there's so many things that fall within the air rights umbrella that sometimes you're allowed based on FAR, but you're not allowed like at 77th based on sliver law. So a lot of times, like you may have, like we had one property.
So even if you have the air rights there, you couldn't
It
use
doesn't
it
matter,
because
there's a civil law handicaps you.
So what I have a few scenarios here.
Yeah.
I don't know how to project there, but anyway, I have here the number that we have there. I think it's 20,433. That's the buildable there. So based on what you have on 52nd, Ralph sent me the breakdown of what is buildable and what's sellable to see how much we lose to common areas.
Sure.
And that is 22%.
22, and that is like.
Is that a standard, like a rough?
It is crazy tight to the point where I think they're, you know, they're 25 is better. If you know, we definitely,
Worst case
there were
scenario.
inefficiencies, you know, the owners there were a little complicated, and so there were times where, you know, penny wise, pound foolish, I would say.
Yeah.
So I would say a better rule of thumb is shoot for 22, but based on codes, you know, a more, it's still very aggressive, I think would be 25. And then if you're able to beat that, great. But we definitely, like, that was tough.
And in that number, you're considering the whole construction and everything, right? Because
Everything.
Rafael sent me a different number.
Oh, yeah?
And that margin was like 9%.
He came up with 9%?
9%.
Can't be.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
huge difference.
So when I told 22, Douglas said no, 22 is too much.
Well, interesting. So what my number includes at 22% is the cellar mechanical area, right? Because that,
Okay, probably, I don't know.
the hallway at the first floor lobby,
Entrance
the
area.
entrance, the cellar level, the stair, the elevator, so all of that, you know, the stair alone.
So like,
Actually, I have.
so this is the breakdown
Oh,
also here,
yeah, this is
8% and or 2% or 10%, depending what you consider. I don't know what he did here.
Yeah, this is a quick napkin.
This is the
That's another
sellable
new-
area
that's not
that is
new.
on the website.
That's not a new build though, is it?
I think
probably
this
grandfathering
looks
in
like this looks like 3.
Is that on 323?
It looks like it. This
Yeah,
number,
yeah.
I know that number is. Yeah, and the plan is. Yeah.
I
Okay.
asked for the 52nd Street.
This is it, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
I thought it was
This-
10,000, it's not.
So, and you sent me
Well,
9,000
yeah, but you know what it is? 8,000 is ground floor up.
Everything.
This doesn't include
It doesn't include the basement.
the cellar.
Okay.
And so the cellar, half of that, more than half the floor is common. So that's where you were bumping up from 9%.
You used everything down the basement, got rid of it.
Yeah,
All
so
your mechanicals.
well, all the mechanicals in the basement. So you got mechanical
All
room,
the
you got
messy
electric
stuff,
room,
yeah.
data room, all of that. Because all of that's down there, there's also an egress corridor, because you need
Sure.
fire egress. And then the back half, it's actually less than half the
Okay.
floor, belongs to the unit. It's rec space for the unit upstairs, so it's
Very
sellable floor area. But half of that, more than half of that floor, the cellar floor, is common.
Okay.
So that's, when
Do you know the total cost for that project?
Douglas would know, I don't know. Because they've been, or Raphael would know.
Hey,
I haven't been involved with that side of it in a little while.
What is it? Square foot?
8037.
I have
It's about 4.4.
a rough breakout here of that.
So what was the total sellable on that, Ralph? What was the total sellable square foot?
Sellable means not including the
Forget about it. Just actual
forget
what
about
your living areas.
like what you're living in. Got it. So not the main stair.
No, nothing like that.
I have it
Total
here.
sellable.
I'm going to dig that up here, so that way I don't go from memory because it's not always great.
Because in the end we need the whole area because everything is buildable.
Oh yeah, There's expensive stuff in the cellar.
Yeah.
So
you have 9366.
Let me see. I'm gonna find my chart because I
565.
sorry, guys.
565
per square foot buildable?
per square foot.
Wow. That's more than I thought it would be.
Well, this building might have a complication because Rafael told me that they assumed the construction during the process. So there was a GC before, and
There was a bit of messing around.
there was
No.
demolition and stuff like that that they don't know. That
There's also
Well, demolition is what?
It's not-
400 grand?
also
Yeah, but
like-
maybe sometimes when you get from one guy to the other, that's stuff that you need to pay twice because there's problem. Yeah, we had that problem in Miami also. So, but yeah, it's 565.
Realistic, that's exactly what it costs.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
So because if in that so the scenario on that building, if we have 20,000 and we lose 22% to common area, then we only have sellable 15,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, we have to do.
So I have the construction here
Yeah.
at 500.
Yeah.
And I have a 10% of contingency, so that goes to 550,
Right.
and still 565. The final cost, more or less,
Yeah.
Okay.
what they have there. So then you have all the soft costs: architect, engineer, legal, permits, impact fee. I don't know how the impact fee work here.
impact. What's that?
In Miami, we have what is called impact fee. The city analyzes your project, see the impact on the neighborhood.
Oh,
And charge you for that, like if the school doesn't absorb everybody that goes there, they need to either build something new in
I
the school
see.
or to pay for the kids
I haven't
to go
run
somewhere.
into
It doesn't
that.
exist in Manhattan.
not
You
that
don't
I'm
have that
aware.
here.
I don't think so.
No.
Not in
Not
any
as far as I know, anyway.
None of the districts I worked in. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they get you many other ways. So.
okay. So property tax, marketing, closing costs, everything, and then our fees. So the project goes 28 million, 28.4 million, including the land. I can send you this.
Yeah, no, I'm
after.
just writing it down and have a quick.
And I put the land at 10.5.
Okay.
So I'm using finance here because we always do. So we have 31 million in sales to a 31.8.
That's based on the 15,000, correct?
15,000
And 2,000 a foot.
2,000 a foot. Okay.
Sorry, so what's the sales?
31.8 million. And I'm not considering here any parking spaces selling at this point, just for you to see the scenario.
Understood.
So when we have that sales minus all these costs, we get 1.5 million profit.
Jesus.
So that's, I'm looking,
7% return for the investor.
I don't mean to be rude, I'm looking for,
No problem.
I've done a chart with all these numbers, I'm just having trouble finding it, but I'm gonna,
So that's what I said. Look, if we sell 30 parking spaces, we can get like to 18% per year for the investor. Then it's more likely that the investor comes in. My problem with that is, are we building a residential building or a garage building? Because we are only making money because of the car.
So
parking space.
can you work out the prices based on two separate buildings, one on 76, one on 77? Doesn't it? Really? How? You're getting your full 20,000.
You're getting our full 20,000 there anyway.
You can only build 12,000 with the car park.
But even if we demolish the car park, that's what I'm understanding. Even if
That's
we
what I-
demolish the car park and we want to build something there, we would still have the same.
You're still going to lose
20,000.
5,000.
Because that's what's the
It's a through lot.
address.
Yeah.
So my
If
question.
we cut it in half,
Whether it's one building, two buildings, whatever it is, you have from the ground up 20,000.
we only want to. If we divide it two, it's going to be 10 and 10 the same
or whatever.
We can do
Yeah.
15
20 is
each.
the max. Yeah.
So,
So we're going to have
with
same
that
problem.
20,000, you have 20,000 whether you use car park or residential.
Correct.
So below grade,
Mhm.
right? Anything, the two levels that are beneath grade,
Uh-huh.
and just say we fit those out with car parking spaces, we still have 20,000 to build.
Correct.
We have 20,000 from the from the street.
Correct. The only way you don't is if, like for instance, at 323, you know the apartment that has a room at the back with the masonette where you go outside, that counts towards the 20,000. In that case, it was less. But in other words, you can deduct mechanical areas, you can deduct parking. So usually sellers don't apply,
Okay.
right? So usually people say, oh, from the ground up you have 20,000.
Okay.
Well, it's from the ground up unless you do things like a rec room or a media room.
Okay.
Like if you do like a gym, that
So
kind of
this
stuff.
building-
Recreational
that's-
areas, yeah.
Yeah.
To make financial sense, this building shouldn't have any amenities and only car and parking spaces.
Correct.
Because we cannot lose the parking spaces for amenities. Because if we
Because
lose
of
them,
loss.
we are going to lose sellable
At the top, yeah.
At the top.
Yeah.
So Ralph, sorry,
No, go ahead.
I do things like
Ask what I'm gonna ask.
Yes,
Everybody thinks.
we've 76 and 77th Street here, okay?
Uh-huh.
So we can build a 20,000 square foot building here,
Mhm.
okay, that goes to 65 foot, right?
5
For
stories.
the most part, yeah.
55 with the setback of 10,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then from 76th Street, we keep the entrance, right? And we keep the, you know, whatever, the driveway down to the ground.
Mhm.
So we're gonna have from here to here, right? 2 levels of car parks.
Mhm.
So for Daniel to make sense, we need to figure out like the footprint of this 20,000.
Yeah, I mean the
Right.
last 20 or 20, I forget.
Can I just make a
Yeah.
point? I thought it said in the drawings you only had 12,000 residential. That's where my head's now lost.
No, you're allowed, they had calculated,
Sorry,
let's go back
sorry.
and check.
Yeah.
Let's go back and check.
It's here. Look.
Is that your website? That's your web?
That's your website. Top Gun. This is what I want to talk about.
20,000 is the buildable on that area.
Yeah.
What's this 12,000 residential?
Yeah, because they've split it up, you see, they've put
I need to know what this is. That's what.
That's their bullshit calculation.
Okay, so what they've done is your maximum zoning is 20,000. Existing garage to remain is 8,700. They're keeping the garage.
Yeah.
So they're doing 20 minus the garage is
Then-
12.
So on,
yeah.
on,
Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm
on,
way
on,
more
yeah.
comfortable.
on
Yeah.
76th Street right now, they have a 3 stories building, right? When you drive in. And they have,
Demolished.
I see it's confusing what they wrote. They're saying total allowed residential is 12,000. It's actually total proposed residential is 12,000.
That's what true,
Which
yeah.
is less than total allowed. So they, yes, they worded it incorrectly,
Yeah.
but the point is we have 20,000 to play.
I thought we had 12 resi and
Got
then-
it. Got
that's
it.
why when Daniel said it to me,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not selling car park spaces to try and make these guys money.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
Yeah.
If we can get 20,000 minus 22%,
Mhm.
keep the car park spaces and do the residential, well then it makes total sense.
We are going to still have
Yeah.
the two below ground parkings.
yeah.
Yeah.
So from a construction and
Make sure,
from an
yeah.
engineering
Yeah.
standpoint on this,
Uh-huh.
so if you're, I remember you'd said, obviously we'd look at putting the 20,000 square foot building on 77th Street because the entrance
Yes.
is already here.
Yes.
And
It's a better block.
It's a better
Yes.
block and
Yeah.
all the rest.
Mhm.
So what is the footprint of that? You said it's like 100 and...
Oh, it's going to be roughly 150 feet long, maybe
150.
something like that.
So if we have 100, what is the plot? What is the...
I think it's, let's see, the lot.
I just want to, this will help work out your,
Absolutely, yeah, far away.
your car situation.
And with 20,000 and 22% of loss,
Why are we
It
losing
does-
5,000?
it-
25?
it doesn't work.
It still doesn't work.
It doesn't work unless we sell the
Parking
parking
spaces.
spaces. The building as is, the 20,000
So it's way
as is,
overpriced.
we're making 1.5 million. That's
Yeah.
it. I don't know how much they paid on the land on 52nd Street because everything's
I don't know, I think it was like four.
So it's $1 million less.
Yeah.
Because here's 5,250,000 each lot if it was 2. And there is half of that, right?
So-
because there is 9,000, here
Yeah.
is 20. it's double.
But I'm saying, just say if we have beneath grade, if we have say 90 car parking spaces, does that make any difference to your calculations?
Just to, let's try to make their, so they already have a better margin.
Okay.
So yes, what would be the correct price for us here? About 8 million?
Yeah, the land is obviously way overpriced.
About 8 million. Let's put 8 million here. 8 million, I can go to 10% return.
Still too low.
It's still too low.
Still too low.
10% cap rate, right?
So
But it's still too low.
how did this deal make sense in the first place then?
Which one?
The East 77th Street.
We thought it would be because of the cash flow.
car park.
Cash flow.
So there's no way getting around the 25%.
Well, their drawing is also deceiving because they're saying maximum 7 stories. So at 7
Yes.
stories, you're like, oh, you know, rough numbers, but it's wrong.
And their sellable on the drawings is 21,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sellable on their drawings is 21, and here we only
But
have
it's not.
16.
You're
because it's only
6,000 less.
Correct.
Realistically.
Correct.
Yeah.
How
So if
would
we're,
they
if,
advertise
That's right.
How can they advertise that? Like, just-
I see, you know, these guys are fly by night and they get, honestly, I see it all the time. That's why we back check stuff.
yeah.
So